Hey there, podcast listeners. Dr. Sheep here. Today I'm joined by both my co-hosts, Anonymous Phil.
Hi.
And Kyle.
Howdy.
So these podcasts are, as always, broken down into three parts. First, we have the news. Then we have how our weeks have been doing. And then, finally, we have the main topic. Today's main topic is what makes us human. So let's get right into things, shall we, with today's first news topic. And the title of this podcast, Opportunity. Do you guys know about opportunity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alright, well, so actually, 8 months ago, Opportunity sent its last transmission to Earth, and I don't know how true this is. I mean, I heard it from Scott Mangley, and I've heard it from a meme now, as well, but, it's getting dark. No, my battery is low, and it's getting dark. Now, I guess the main topic for discussion is the rovers were only supposed to last like 9 months. No, was it 90 days?
3 months.
3 months? So 90 days, yeah. Do you think... Okay, I guess this brings up a few questions. The government spent, what, $1 billion on these things?
Something like that.
For only a 90-day mission?
Yeah, but think about it this way. You know, you get a warranty on your phone for like 2 years or whatever. This Rover mission, it was a 3-month warranty. It was guaranteed to last 3 months. And what they get out of the deal? 15 whole years. Now, I don't know what you're complaining about, but that's quite the deal, I'd say.
What about you, Kyle?
I'm just laughing over the pictures, saying like cameras take these crappy pictures, and then there's opportunity takes these like spotless, like really good pictures.
I mean, crappy pictures.
Have you seen like those like how opportunity pictures compare to like Android pictures?
Oh,
Like
no.
Android like photos, camera.
Well, I
like
mean,
Android camera.
Actually, the Opportunity rovers photos actually are crap, and they're actually multiple photos, I believe, in one shot, and they just like take multiple stills. Because I mean, you wouldn't believe it. Like the processors on these rovers are tiny. They have like no power at all, and I don't understand. But the main problem is though, like they're trying to design radiation hardened computers. But I'm like, how hard can it be to just take an in-core i9 and, like, make it, you know, or an i7 and make it radiation-proof? How hard is that?
Well,
Can't you just use a Faraday cage?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm oversimplifying it, or maybe NASA's just like, oh, you know what? Never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but anyways, so, okay, this is only supposed to be a 3-month mission. But it was still billions of dollars. Do you think we should have at least gotten more use out of it for what we paid for it?
I mean, I don't know exactly how they estimate their time, but I mean,
they didn't.
3 months. Just
I mean, the rover wasn't meant to last 3 months. I mean, it had 3 months of missions, and then however long it lasted after that was, whatever.
yeah.
I feel like the amount of money we paid, they should last longer than that. Like Curiosity is meant to have like a long lifespan.
Like what? Like 5 months?
No, I think like its original mission was 2 years, and then that was it.
Is that the one that landed on like Jupiter or Saturn's moon?
No,
Which one was that?
that's the Mars rover they sent in 2012. Then they're sending another one, Mars 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Not a rover though,
No.
but they're gonna drill holes into the Martian surface.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, but back to Opportunity though. I think, but they made it predominantly solar powered, with like no nuclear power at all. This was like during that phase where NASA stopped using nuclear power. Like some of their space, like they hadn't used nuclear power on spacecraft since I think the 70s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Should they go back to using nuclear power?
I mean, it's very efficient.
True. I mean, because the solar that's why Opportunity died. It got covered in dust, and it couldn't recharge.
Yep.
And then the batteries, I'm assuming, degraded without having a charge, and so
that's what I heard too.
they're not usable anymore.
That's what I heard.
I wanted to have the opportunity go to meet Curiosity.
Yeah.
I mean, they could definitely use Curiosity to go meet Opportunity now.
Good.
Certainly. Because Curiosity's gone, what, further now than any other Mars rover?
That I don't know. It's possible.
I don't know. Kyle, what do you think? Should the government spend billions of dollars on these rovers and only have them last 3 months?
I have mixed opinions with that.
Well, this is the podcast
Yeah.
where we analyze the news with our opinions.
You don't want my opinion for that.
I don't know.
You already know my opinion about all this stuff.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I mean, we should certainly want the viewers to know it.
No, they don't.
Listeners.
Nope.
You don't want them spending money on it, do you?
I think there's better places they could put money towards.
Certainly. I don't know about you, but certainly still want that free flu shot. Whatever that is.
Phil, we haven't gotten a flu shot since we were kids.
I don't think I've ever had one.
No, I think we got one when we were kids.
No, I don't think I've ever had one.
And then there's Dr. Sheik who's paranoid about it every year and gets one.
I get one every year. I didn't used to get shots. I got the nasal mist, but I've gotten a shot like the past 3 years.
Yeah, I never got the flu.
Please, you got sick that time. Don't even.
That was from you.
I don't
You
know.
got me sick.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kyle.
Me and my friend got each other sick. Okay, so basically, I got sick around Easter. Me and my friend got each other sick. I was sick. What was it? It was Easter, so it was back in March. It was that early Easter, wasn't it? And I was sick for like at least 3 months to the point where I was coughing really bad. Where my parents had to send me the physician. They had to give me like medication to make me like feel better.
What year? That was what we wanted to do some little filming project of some sort, but we couldn't because you were like dead.
I was. All
So-
because of your Kobe Jack sausage snack.
Oh yeah! So we went to a gas station, and we found this. Did we tell you about the story?
I don't think so.
So it was a Colby Jack summer sausage and Colby Jack sandwich. So it was just a slice of Colby Jack cheese, some summer sausage, and a slice of Colby Jack cheese mushed together. That thing was so amazing.
I got sick.
I didn't get sick.
You got me sick.
Well, I don't know how, because I tore that thing in half to give you the other part of it.
Maybe your germs jumped a few.
Apparently, I don't know, but that thing was amazing. The cheese was so smoky and creamy. Oh, I have never found it since. Never.
Limited edition.
Really?
I've been upset about it. I dream about that thing. It keeps me up at night. Anyways, moving on to the next piece of news. First suspected exomoon may remain hidden for a decade. Exomoons. We know about exoplanets, right?
Yeah, yep.
Exomoons. I guess I never thought we did any inquiries into exomoons.
I mean, what, they're just another rock orbiting another rock.
I mean, this one kind of looks like a gas. I mean, from the artist's rendition here, kind of looks like a gas giant orbiting another gas giant.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a cool idea, like to live on a world where, like, have you ever seen the movie Avatar? The planet of Pandora, like, orbits a gas giant, and you can see it from like the surface level. You can see the gas giant.
Yeah, but would you call yourself a planet or would you call yourself a moon?
I feel like it'll be a jungle moon.
Like,
But
if Earth...
It's a planetary.
Imagine if there was another
planetary
Jupiter-sized Earth in which Earth rotated.
Jupiter.
We would not call
What? If there's a Jupiter-sized planet that Earth rotated.
What did I say?
a Jupiter-sized Earth.
Jupiter.
Is that even stable?
Sized Earth.
No, it would turn to a gas giant.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. A Jupiter-sized Earth. So imagine if there was another Earth that was the size of Jupiter, and then our Earth orbited around that Earth.
Why do you just call it a planet, God?
That's what but that's my point, though. That's my point. Would we call the planet that we are living on a planet?
Oh, here's
Or would we
the
call it a
moon.
moon? We call it a moon.
Here's a question. I talked to you about this, Phil. The planetary object Thea that theoretically were a lot of scientists are actually believing Thea was the small planet that about Mars size, I believe, that created, that supposedly gave life to the Earth and created the moon.
Yes.
Here was an idea. What if there was some scenario where Thea hit Earth, created life on Earth, and then some other like force hit Thea, the moon, and created two planetary bodies that had life.
Wait, say this
So
again?
there's Thea, here's the
So
Earth,
there's
but like chunks of Thea keep going with life on them and say they hit Mars.
no. I'm saying
That's what you're saying?
I'm saying
Or-
planet Earth, like let's
Instead
say,
of forming the moon,
No,
makes
no.
another Earth.
makes a smaller Earth, moon sized, or like a little bigger. than
Well,
moon sized.
I mean,
What would we? I feel like, okay, since we'll call Earth 1 the Earth that we're living on right now, Earth 2 the moon, it's like a jungle moon. It's a moon-sized object, but it has the conditions of Earth where it's breathable and it's primitive to where there's life and like human life. I feel like it would be Christopher Columbus again. I feel like we would treat those inhabitants a lot more different because we have the resources that moon may not have.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they
if
may
the-
also have resources that we don't have.
Yeah, but they're more primitive. They'll be considered more primitive.
propose if they were more primitive.
Yeah.
Because of their resources.
I mean, the only problem you're going to run into is, okay, so the moon would have a lower gravity, and say it could sustain an Earth atmosphere. Those life forms are going to actually be bigger than Earth life forms,
Yeah, that would be cool.
and they're not going to be as strong though. But we would still send astronauts up there with full-on with spacesuits. They might just be like respirators, because the atmospheres, I can almost guarantee, are going to be different. I could see the moon having more carbon dioxide than the Earth for it to sustain life. But I mean, that's just a theory. Anyways, that's an interesting question though. Like, so Europa could have life on it, as could Titan, and they don't have intelligent life,
Yeah.
but
Like our degree of intelligence, or
not even like ape degree of intelligence, like a fish.
No brain.
Well, I mean, Europa would have might have vertebrate fish.
Well, I was just thinking like bacteria.
Oh,
Like cyanobacteria,
I mean, it's
yeah.
almost guaranteed they're gonna have bacteria. I can guarantee they're gonna have some sort of form of bacteria. Maybe some sort of invertebrate. Actually, they might not even make invertebrates because the Titan. Well, the thing is, both of the forms of life on Titan, it's going to be the methane pools, and on Europa, it's going to be just by the hydrothermal vents.
Mm-hmm.
So, they need to make vertebrates, or invertebrates at all, or would they just stay like jellyfish almost?
I'm not a biologist. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. But, there's a video. Did Vsauce make a video if the Earth had rings?
It did at one time, didn't it?
Yeah, when the moon was around it.
Yeah, for about a year.
Who made that video? Who made a video if the Earth had rings?
Describe it.
Well, they talked about how if the Earth could make stable rings, how it'd leave a shadow on the equator, and then how ancient cultures like the Mayans and stuff would make up stories of how they got there.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
And it would also just make generalized putting satellites into orbit a little more challenging.
I think that was a Vsauce.
Think of the mining. Probably like a new mining refinery.
No, the rings.
Asteroid mining.
The rings are mostly like dust, like actual just dust. They wouldn't be very. It's not much to mine there. Is it Vsauce? Nope, it's just some random dude. Don't play it though, because we might have sound on this thing. Mute. No, but that top one, that was it though.
This one?
I'm pretty sure. We're muted, so we're okay. Oh, good, because it's an ad that plays, of course.
This is the video?
No. What? No, you did not. What? No, you did not click on the right video. There. If Earth had rings, this is it. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think this is what I remember.
I mean, there's multiple videos.
Oh.
This is the one I remember. Yep, this is it.
Science equals delta V over delta T.
Anyway, that's enough of that. Pause. Right, so the rings would change culture. Obviously, having a giant gas giant in the sky would also change culture, obviously. And holy cow, we are really far into this video and have not gotten to the rest of the topic. So, next topic. Right, how were your weeks?
Fine?
Fine.
Fine.
Nothing exciting happened?
No.
Kyle?
I tried the at work. We had like a bunch of like pop soda in our break room. I don't even know why. If like I worked the day before, like the night shift, that was not in the break room. Came back the next morning, there was like all this like 12 packs of like Pepsi products, I believe, or Coke. And there was this Canada Dry ginger ale. Have you ever tried it? It's actually like not that bad.
I haven't had, no.
It's actually like not that bad. It tastes like Sprite.
No.
But it
with ginger.
Yeah, but it gives like
Okay.
no, not a kick, but like you could feel it in your stomach, and you just had to release like all that gas bubbles.
Like LaCroix.
I don't know. Like you feel like you had to burp because you had to release all that gas.
Maybe
All
that's
these,
the
like,
ginger.
I don't know, but it was actually pretty good.
You know what? Maybe that's a hint at. Did you see the Young Sheldon episode where he has to get his gallbladder removed?
Yep.
Where did you get your medical degree from?
University of Nebraska.
Oh no.
I just saw that episode today because I was super far behind. I just saw it today. But that reminds me, he had a Canada Dry ginger ale.
Did he?
Yeah, but he said room temperature and stir out the bubbles. So maybe that's why he has the same problem that you have with the gas bubble buildup.
Do you ever wonder, like, Big Bang Theory, they have, like, the laughter, like, overlap,
No, those people are dead.
and then in Young Sheldon they don't have that.
Yep. It
You know,
is-
like if someone makes a joke in a TV show, they'll have like laughter in the
Yeah.
background. That's not in Young Sheldon.
that must be a forced. A lot of people don't like that about the normal Big Bang Theory, though. So maybe that's why so many people like this new one, is because it doesn't have that problem.
Oh, like the laughter and like that.
Yeah, and the jokes aren't just like, oh, science reference. Actually, you know what? Some of them are. I was watching him making a nuclear reactor before I left.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to be here soon. So, anyways, moving on to my week. I bought a Dremel
Oh yeah.
that's for a video. You'll see in the future. Another testing memes, which did really well. And holy cow, you know what? We're supposed to read the comments. Oh my gosh.
Did we ever talk about that fog? That crazy fog last?
I don't believe we did. Do you want to talk about that while I find the
Alright,
comments?
So, what was it?
It was Super Bowl weekend.
Was it, so what was that, 2 weeks ago? Or last week?
2 weeks ago. Yep, it was the weekend we
Alright,
filmed the last
So,
podcast.
2 weeks ago, after all this, like, rain and snow, around, like, 7 o'clock, I would say, this huge fog cover went over our capital city in our state. Everything was in fog. Where I work, I'm at the edge, the outstretch, like the outskirts of the city. I was driving home. I could not see like a foot in front of me, and like I was like in the middle of nowhere because like I live near dirt roads, and I was like, okay, there's no one near me. I'm gonna try this. It's like I hear when you turn on your brights on your vehicle in the fog, it's really bad. I want to see how bad this is. So I did that. I could not see a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I had to go back to the dorms after I went to Super Bowl to watch with my friends at his place.
This fog was did 2 nights worth. Like,
Yep.
it started at 7, stopped around 10 on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then did the exact same thing on Sunday.
Yeah, there was a 4-lane highway. I turned into the wrong lane. I was going the wrong way. I was attempting a high-level meme. Oh my, it was not good.
Yeah, when I was driving Saturday, I said, you are not coming to my house to film.
Yep.
You cannot see a thing.
And you were right.
I was right.
Except then today, it's snowing, and I still came. Anyways, we gotta get to these comments.
Smells a little bit better.
So we can get to... Yep, true. So we can read these comments. So, from the water bottle, at 7:47, bro! Laughing emoji, alien emoji. Okay, by the way, Ohio, Michigan, 100% Midwest states. What do you consider Midwest? Most considered plain states.
Who
We
said
are
this?
pretty plain.
This was the water bottle. You know the water bottle.
Oh, is that one of your college friends?
No, well, no. I mean, I don't consider Ohio one of the Midwest states. But we don't want to continue that conversation from last week.
Ohio's like north.
Northeast.
It's like north. Yeah.
Northeast. No. All right,
What's
and then
weird though is like Colorado and Wyoming and Utah,
Wyoming doesn't
those
exist. You
are
know
not,
that, right?
yeah, Wyoming's not.
Those are not Midwest states though. Those are considered part of the Pacific region or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Pacific Northwest.
That's dumb.
Is that what it's called?
Well, yeah, because when
It's not called Northwest though, because it also includes Arizona and
when our
California, doesn't
when our
it?
grandma went
I would call it just the West.
when our grandma
Well, maybe
went,
maybe it's just the West.
when our grandma went there, like she went to the Northwest, like Pacific Northwest included Washington, Oregon, parts like northern part of California, but then it also included like I think Montana.
Don't research it. We did it
Idaho.
last week.
No, but you didn't post the picture though.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
Stop.
Oh, I know what you didn't post. You didn't post the picture about how I was making fun of all the states.
Oh, I didn't care about that one. That was gonna be a pain in the butt finding it. Anyways, next comment. There are a lot of comments we gotta get through.
A lot?
There are 4. Spaz McGee asked, "What's with the background noise?" And I answered it. Would you stop
There are 3.
on this one, and then there's 2 on this one.
Oh, that's 5.
but the one comment's mine. Anyways, in response to Spaz McGee, and I answered it in the comment, but for those of you that didn't ask, but were wondering, the tripod was touching the table, and I hope it's not touching it now. I really hope. But it was really annoying. I didn't like it. Try editing it. It was awful. Anyways, and then the last one, testing memes, we had Riley Robbins commented, probably the best video I've ever seen. Thank you. Thank you. I like making that video. The water bottle, again, he was sad. Andy Reid, only tier level 2. He's only a tier 2. Only a few people get those memes, and he's only a tier 2. Barely tier 2, honestly. Alright. Finally, the main topic. What makes us humans? With, okay, we got a good amount of time for it. Alright, what makes us human?
You know, what makes us human?
You want to answer this, Kyle? Because we have a pretty confirmed answer.
I think you should start as, are you creationalist or are you evolution?
Are you, Kyle?
All right. So from your point of view,
Oh my god. You always yell at me when I tell you my answer.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
So
If
much.
Phil starts yelling, I'll slap him.
I have a pencil.
That'll work too.
Well, I believe creation happened, but like in the sense of 6 days, it could have been like 6 million years.
I think we all had that same consensus, actually.
Like a day lasted a million years,
Billions.
billions
Yeah,
of
sure.
years, billion of years, and then like creation created all of that, but it was over the span of billion years.
Billions of years.
Yeah.
You're getting there.
Yeah. And then evolution just furthered the species, like evolved them to be like, cause like, yeah, I'm just gonna flat out say it. God created humans, but evolution expanded it to create humans more and more evolved and made them less primitive and more like thought-willed. Because like you said, like Neanderthals, like they were big-brained, but they weren't. Were they as smart? They weren't as.
Nope, they were.
No.
They weren't as
dirt.
smart as we are. So evolution, because of I believe evolution is more of like the environment of the planet was the evolution of species. They made this planet made them what they are today.
Right.
And that's what the environment was, basically the evolution process of everything.
So I guess then, what's your opinion on then
What makes us
Adam
human.
and Eve then?
so
See,
Where do they
that's
fit into the equation?
That's
because you said
weird.
God created human, and then
See, that's the
evolution
weird thing.
furthered it. So if God created human, are you saying that Adam and Eve are lesser humans than we are?
Well,
Because the
they
humans
were-
that Adam and Eve created.
See, that was the weird thing, because you talked to
I actually.
we were talking to like the priests and sisters, and they're like, there were actually
other humans.
other humans.
But I don't know where they got that in the Bible, because when you read it, it's just like what's his
It
face's
started
wife
with
just appears out of nowhere,
it's strange.
and he gets married.
Unless they were the Kickstarters.
How I look at it, these other people that the Bible doesn't mention, but they just appear. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like those were from evolution,
See, yeah.
and then Adam and Eve were created by God and put there in place.
See, the Bible also says like everyone, like in the book of like Genesis, were the spawn of Adam and Eve, like being their huge ancestral grandparents.
Mhm.
That meant there had to be a lot of like, yeah.
Yeah, the gene pool would be too small. See, that's why I think those other that's why I don't understand where that wife came from. Was it Cain or Abel's wife? That just pops out of nowhere. It's like, who the hell are you?
I think it was Seth's. Abel's like, okay, Cain killed Abel. After Abel
I found a few
died,
stables near you. The first one.
Hey,
is a
Google,
little
stop.
stable
No one asked her.
okay, after Abel died, and Cain was all those left. I think Cain was exiled But then Adam and Eve had another son.
I don't know. I still don't understand where this wife came from. She just appeared out of nowhere. And if what the priest said, there were other people, quote unquote.
It could have been like after their sin, he created more.
Maybe. I think those other people came from evolution. And then Adam and Eve are the original Jews, I guess.
The original, like.
I don't know.
Wait, so what sort of, like, species range would you say Adam and Eve fall in?
They're humans.
Yeah,
yes, but like...
I feel like they were like, since they had the chance to be eternal, to live forever, like, not flawless in the sense of God, but they had no sin.
Yes.
They were supposed to be immortal.
Yeah. Yes, I know.
So I think their offspring would have also been immortal, but because of sin,
They're not, yeah.
they lost it. So I think they were actually like, quote unquote, like
Meta-human?
meta or like superhuman, like the master.
No, but
like-
what I'm saying though is like
the
do you
teachers
think that they
of-
were Homo sapiens? Because like
I think
we
they're
were considered
more.
a Homo sapiens sapiens.
They're more than humans.
I think they were like Homo nubis, like a new human.
No, that's not
That's
what I'm
from
saying.
Sheldon.
What range of humans do you think they'd fall in? I'm not
I
saying
think-
what species were they. What species of humans were they living at the time of? Like how
Well,
old?
the way the Bible depicts them, they predict that
They were supposed to live forever.
They depicted them as Homo sapien.
Yeah.
They look like us, so I think they were.
They have to be...
Well, think about it. God created the animals before He created man.
Right,
So that happened over billions of years.
Right, and with what you said, like, so God exists outside the universe, and He manipulates it. Therefore, you'd have no concept of time,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
provided He's not in a higher dimension. You have no concept of time. Therefore, when He comes back in, oh, look at that, there's human-like things
Yeah.
running around. That would be
Yes.
Neanderthals or future humans
It
that
could
would
have
come
been like
around. And then He
this.
creates Adam and Eve, and then they betray Him and blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, wrap back. What makes us human? Skipping the God question, I think, as Vsauce has said it, apes don't ask questions. We've taught them sign language, but they don't ask us questions. You have two people, was it one with food or one without? Or something like that. But the ape won't ask the other human, because the other human knows where the food is.
It's the Sally-Ann test.
Right. The one human has food. The one doesn't. He goes to the one that doesn't. But the one that doesn't, the ape knows that he's seen the food, but doesn't bother to ask where it is.
See,
3-year-olds have the same problem. 3-year-olds have the same problem, which is how they know that this whole idea of theory of mind came into place when we're about 5 years old, because we have no concept of what it means that other people have opinions. Other people have beliefs too, other than your own. The fact that you are not living in a world of other people, you are in fact... No, it's not the belief that you are your own self living with everyone else in the background of your life. It's there are other people living a life as vivid as your own and coming to the realization that there are other people to interact with.
Yeah, and they know things that you don't know.
Yes.
I will go back. Here's a question for you have to answer in the comments. Like, and there's a movie where this person's playing a simulator. Guess the movie in the comments. There's in the simulator this person's playing. He approaches a giant, and the giant says, one goblet is poisoned, the other goblet is not. Choose which one it is. And after many trials, he comes up to the conclusion they're both poisoned. And he's at the point to where this another person near him, his I would say his friend or ally, he's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, both are poison. And he actually goes up to the giant and kills the giant. And that gave him life. Because the giant says one is poison, the other one will give you like life.
Right.
Choose
but they're
wisely.
both poison.
But they're both poison.
Yeah.
So
you kill
in the
this-
concept of asking the giant,
the question, it's like what you said. Humans ask questions. He questions like, because at first like he was like the 3-year-old. Both he didn't realize.
he was told that one is one is the other one.
Yeah.
An ape would just go and just be like, okay,
Pick.
just
They would
and just
pick.
pick one. But a human would think about it like, what if they're both poison?
Well,
Just kill the giant.
that was after many trials. He's like, both are poisonous. So you.
Right, and an ape would just keep doing things at random. It wouldn't ever come to the realization that that one's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the thing with the ape and with the mechanical robot. How the ape would keep going to the one that just because there was a mechanical one that provides no warmth, nothing, but provided food, and there's other one that provides warmth and like shelter, but no food.
Yes.
The baby monkey would keep going to it. It would just die.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps from this. This is, I mean, the topic of what makes us human is interesting. And I guess I need to mention this, but a lot of people think what makes us human is the ability to use tools and technology. But you gotta remember, though, some apes are able to use a stick to gather ants.
Yeah.
Or, like,
One of
even
them-
otters can use,
What
rocks
they
to
do
break
is
shells.
what they do is they fish termites out of logs, and the way that they do it is rather interesting. I watched a documentary on it. Basically, they take this leaf or whatever, and when they stick it in there, they film these apes doing it. But, the baby ones always have troubles doing it. And it's basically an acquired task. They teach it that they've been passing down generations after generations of how to fish termites out. And each ape sort of like branches off and figures out a better, more efficient way to figure it out than their predecessors did. So what I'm guessing what I'm trying to say is that they, although they're still quite intelligent in the fact they're able to manipulate new ideas.
And the fact that they're able to teach.
Yeah.
They can teach. That's something a lot of people also think, humans teach. Not humans are the only species, according to you, that can teach.
Yeah.
But there was also, was it New York? There was some zoo, a bunch of I think it was like a couple, there's a couple primates who grabbed a broken tree branch and used it to scale up a wall and escape a zoo.
That's not far. I mean, that I could see that. That's not that hard to figure out, though.
Because they can put stuff together, but their thought process, they don't think what happens after we scale the wall.
Yeah, they just think wonder what's over there. Because if they were an ape, if they were a human, they would just ask them, "Yo, bro, what do you think's over there?"
Parents says don't touch the stove. Kid's gonna touch the stove, but it's not gonna. The parent doesn't say don't touch the stove. You're gonna get burnt. They don't say that most of the time. They said don't touch it. So the kid doesn't know what will happen after.
Even when you tell them you're gonna get burnt, they don't. They're just like,
don't touch it.
ouch.
But to be fair, we all sort of have those stupid moments in life where we do something just for the hell of it because we want to see what will happen. It's not, we don't always, think things through analytically, every decision in our life. It takes forever. Sometimes you just kind of act in the heat of the moment.
The lighter, putting the lighter fluid in a can and throwing it into a fire.
Yeah, people all the time, they act in the heat of the moment. They never really think about stuff. But you are given the ability to think abstractly, which is something that was given to us. And there's a thing called the cognitive trade-off hypothesis. Vsauce actually did a video about this. It's one of his free YouTube Red videos. He has
I don't watch YouTube Red Ones.
But he has about 1 or 2 free ones every year, every season, and that was one of them. Was the cognitive trade-off hypothesis, and it was very, very interesting. Basically, he was explaining the idea of why humans are able to think abstractly as they can and are able to formulate language, whereas apes cannot. And it all started. The hypothesis is that it all started when humans branched out of the trees. once they branched out of the trees, we no longer needed to start thinking of the world in terms of remembering details, every little thing. We started to have to formulate ideas about what would happen now that we were in this wide open plain where everything is fair game, because it'd be so easy to be killed. And what they've also shown with this idea is that apes have a remarkably exceptional short-term memory. With a number game, that's numbers on a screen that are flashed before them with a tenth of a second, and they have to click on the numbers in order. So what they do, they show them the numbers, they click on them in order, and then they give them a treat. Well, then what they do is then they do the same thing, but then they cover it up with only a tenth of a second to look at the numbers. And they're able to get like 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or whatever.
See,
humans can't do that. Humans can only get like
humans
one or
get
two.
distracted. That's why.
What?
Humans are because humans
aren't focusing on
because
details.
humans
are focusing on
have
the bigger picture.
because we have like
Dude, why am I doing this?
Well, no,
Yeah,
but
because
the idea is that apes are wired to
Yeah.
think detailed. Humans are not wired to think detailed. Humans are wired to look at the bigger picture and understand a general concept. Like when you read a book, you don't remember every single word of every single page you've ever read. You remember the generic idea of what went on in the book. You don't even remember what went on in every single chapter if someone asked you. You remember the general idea of what went on in the book and the sort of general plot.
because like humans are focused on like so many things at once. We're not.
They get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But apes...
Wired.
I got a fun story about reciting a book.
Yeah, but apes, on the other hand, they are wired to remember detail. I don't know why, but the idea is that since apes never left the trees, they never had any sort of incentive to
But that's
change.
with like
Think.
that's with a lot of animals, like the black mamba. I believe it's the black mamba. There were stories like there was a safari and a black mamba. It's a type of snake, one of the most deadly snakes. It caught on the scent of something on that safari truck, and it followed them for miles.
But that's more of an instinct thing. Like, it thinks it's
But yeah,
food, so it
but
follows.
animals, if they have a goal in mind, they're gonna go until they can't anymore. They run out of stamina, or they die.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of stamina.
they just go for their goal. Like horses, they could run themselves to death.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of stamina, humans actually have like one of the largest staminas of any animal in the world.
Yeah,
fun fact.
because
And then
a human can run a further distance than the cheetah, but the cheetah a cheetah can run faster,
but can't run as far.
can't run as far as the human, because the amount of energy that we consume.
Well, we also run like a fraction of the speed. We also are on bipedal, which I don't know if that helps. But you were talking about the remembering stories. So I remember back in elementary school, I had to do these things called dibbles, and there was these time tests, and they were reading. And my teacher started to notice a pattern. Like, the fictional stories you suck at, but these non-fiction ones, you're able to recite these pretty well. I remember one time I finished, and so you read it for like a minute, and then you recite what you read. I almost recited it word for word, and she's like, "How?" I'm like, "I don't know, man, because that's not a question for me." She's like, "You almost." Because it was nonfiction, and I had read it like it was an impressive amount of words because I was a slow reader back then, still am. But it was an impressive amount of words that I had already read, and I recited it almost word for word. And the funny thing is, because of how detailed I like to get with my explanations and how dragged out they get, I'd actually recite more words than I actually read.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just such an interesting dynamic.
Well, I think the idea there is that you found a story that you like, something that you really enjoyed, and so you're naturally going to become more inclined to follow along with the story. And then, if it's a good enough story, the story can almost play a role in your mind. This is actually one of the ways that the new memory professionals, they have competitions that test your memory.
Right.
And
yeah.
one of the ways that they recommend to increase your memory is to form a story. Because if you can remember the storyline, you can remember the general idea of the sequence of events. And so I think what's going on there is that you were becoming so incredibly interested in what you were reading that you were able to remember. Now, whether or not you can still recite that entire passage word for word today would be something completely different.
Right.
But consider that you were reciting it, a minute after you just read it. You were incredibly interested, so you're going to be able to recite it like that.
Still remember what it was about.
But what?
I still remember what it was about.
Yeah, you remember that's my point, though. You remember what it was about.
About a
You don't
whale.
remember every detail.
There's
There
no
are
whales.
people like that. Solomon Sherstavsky is one. He was from like the 1920s. He was a man who could recite like 70.
It was a meme.
He could recite 70 digits of just random sequence of numbers, all at once, given to him, and then 15 years later, he was able to do that same thing. The numbers that he was presented, right back to the person. Not only that, he also told the woman exactly what she was wearing on that day 15 years ago, and what the weather was like.
I was just-
Savant syndrome.
Yeah, but see, there's something different. Well, my point is that there's something different wired within the brain that is not like normal.
Yeah. Speaking of like, almost on topic of books, I'm going back on that one book, Royal Blood,
Royal. What book is that?
the Roman prince one when he betrays his father.
I don't think you've
And
talked about that one.
he starts a rebellion in Rome, like basically overthrows the current like government because like of how much like he's displeased with his father.
Right. Well,
That was a good one.
I hate to kill these conversations, but we are grossly over time. What are we at? Like, oh geez, 47 minutes. Right. So, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New podcasts every other Friday, 4:30.
We will talk more about the cognitive ideas. And
I don't think so. We talked about the news for a little too long, and then this topic dragged on for quite a while.
we'll make this a two-parter.
No, we won't. And good night.